This is part 2 for exercise number 4. In the first part of the exercise, we downloaded some information from Google Drive. That was a shapefile that had all the county commissioner districts and some information about the commissioners. We then explored the map window application, and we explored some of the data by using the identify button and also by using the table button so that we could see the entire table of information as well. So in this portion, part number 2, we're going to be symbolizing the map so that we can see the commissioner districts based on the commissioner gender, and also show on the map the commissioner name so we can see who the commissioners are for each one of the districts. Now, there are several ways to do this symbology. I think the easiest way is to come over and double click on the Guilford Commission layer in the legend. And when we do that, we get a layers property window. And we can set several things around the appearance and categories and labels. The one we're interested in, since we're going to be shading these by the information in the table, will be under the tab for categories. Now, I can symbolize things a couple of different ways. If I had income, or I had some other information which could be communicated as like a range of values, then I would simply use a classification here and identify how many breaks I wanted for my color ramp and things of that nature. I don't want to do that, however. I'm going to be mapping unique values because it's simply going to be either a male or a female. All right, so I'm going to click unique values. And when I do that, I get a list of additional fields which are part of that shapefile. Now, for my example, I'm going to be symbolizing these based on gender. However, the map that you're going to be turning into me as part of the class will be mapped or be symbolized based on party, which is right up here. Right? So remember where that is. So you're going to do gender, and we're going to hit generate. And that generates for me 3 rows because there are 3 possible values that we can see from this shapefile. The first one is called unclassified. That would basically represent any polygons for which there was no information, maybe a null value. We didn't know the gender of the commissioner or something of that nature, and we left it empty. The second row down represents the number of polygons that are represented by a female commissioner, and we see that there are 3 of those. And then finally, we also have the symbol for the male commissioners, and there are 6 polygons for that. So let's go ahead and set some colors. We're not going to worry about the unclassified because we know we don't have any of those, but we're going to go ahead and click on the box or double click on the box to the left of the female category. And now we can go ahead and set some colors. We'll hit this drop down. And we're going to make the female commissioner districts, we're going to make those purple. Double click on purple and click OK. For the male commissioners, we're going to use orange. So let's go ahead and double click on the box next to M for male. And we'll hit the down arrow for the color. And we'll notice that there are no good oranges in this particular set option of colors, but that's okay because we can pick more colors. So just go ahead and double click on it. And here's an orange. Not the most beautiful orange in the world, but it'll do for our purposes. So that's okay with me. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And then OK one more time. So we have the females as orange, is purple, and the males as orange. And then we'll go ahead and click OK. So now we have the map symbolized, purple for women, orange for males. And the next thing we want to do is we want to add some labels so we can see the commissioner name. So to do that, we'll double click on the commission again over here in the legend. This time we'll pick the tab for labels, and we'll pick the button for setup. And we have the fields that are appearing in our shapefile. We're going to double click on the one for rep because that's the field that contains the representative's name. And then we're going to go ahead and next we're going to set some information about that because we don't want to take the default information in terms of the font. We're going to go ahead and set our own. So we'll pick the font tab. Mine came up with this particular font. You can pick any font you want. Let's go ahead and pick Comic Sans for me. And we'll pick a color, maybe we'll pick this kind of a mauve color. And And for the font size, we'll leave that as 8, and we'll click OK. And we'll tell it's going to be in the centroid. Essentially, it means in the center. And OK. And OK one more time. So now you can see we have the commissioner name and the shading for the polygons that will show us that their gender. That basically concludes the second part of this exercise. In the third and final part of the exercise, we'll go through the process for creating the cartographic output and actually generating the PDF file.